This is the TNA Wrestling August 21st, 2025 full show results video. Trick Williams kicked off the show by celebrating his recent victory over Moose at Emergence, bragging that he's made a habit of beating opponents in their hometowns. He declared himself the man carrying two brands on his shoulders at the same time. Mike Santana then made his entrance through the crowd to a thunderous ovation. Santana acknowledged that Trick has indeed turned TNA upside down but reminded him that he wasn't the one pinned at Slammiversary. Santana praised the record-breaking attendance for the event and made it clear he's coming for the TNA World Championship, no matter if it's in a TNA or NXT ring. Trick quickly shot him down, saying Santana already had two chances and failed. Santino Marella arrived, backing Santana and nearly making the title match official before Trick invoked a contract clause delaying his next defense, frustrating Santana as Trick slipped away. Backstage, Gia Miller interviews Order 4 before their six-man tag match against the System on TNA Impact. Mustafa Ali shifts his focus from addressing the TNA fans to speaking directly to Gia, referencing Tessa Blanchard's assault on her at Slammiversary. Ali expresses frustration over the disrespect shown to Order 4 by the System and Matt Cardona. He closes the segment with their signature vow, reaffirming that the group's strength lies in their unwavering trust in Ali. Trick Williams bumps into Santino Marella backstage as he's about to leave the building with AJ Francis. Marella tells Trick he'll get one of his own liars figure out the champion's contract clause, but that doesn't bar Williams from competing inside a TNA ring. The TNA Director of Authority sets up Trick Williams and AJ Francis versus Mike Santana and his partner for next week's TNA Impact. Then we saw a gauntlet match between Zaya Brookside versus Killer Kelly versus Dani Luna versus Rosemary versus Indy Hartwell versus Jody Threat for a shot at the TNA Knockouts World title. In the Knockouts Gauntlet, Zaya Brookside advanced by pinning Killer Kelly before falling to Dani Luna. Luna built momentum with two straight wins, defeating Zaya and then Rosemary with her Luna landing. Indy Hartwell ended her streak but was viciously attacked by Luna afterward. Jody Threat was the next entrant and questioned Luna's antics, but Luna insisted she did it for her. When Jody tried to check on Indy, Luna attacked her with a chair, leading to a disqualification. With standard gauntlet rules in effect, Jody Threat became the #1 contender as fans booed the controversial outcome. Backstage, The Inspiration recapped their loss in the tag team title match at Emergence. They say they'd eventually get their hands on the Elegance brand. Fallon Henley and Jasmine Nix interrupt, causing a confrontation to cap off the segment. Backstage, Jody Threat tells Santino Marella she doesn't deserve a shot at the Knockouts Championship, not with how she got it. She asks Marella to maybe give the title match to Indy. Dani Luna pops up and tells Jody she did it for her, and Luna tells Jody that was her match and she lost before leaving the space to Marella and Jody. Ryan Namath comes to the stage and tells TNA Impact fans his big brother, Nick Namath, returns to the Impact Zone in 2 weeks. For those unaware, Nick is suspended by Santino Marella in the lead-up to TNA Emergence, which saw Ryan compete against the hometown man. The next match happened between Frankie Kazarian versus Jake Something, and the result of this match was Frankie Kazarian defeated Jake Something by pinfall after hitting the Fade to Black finisher. We see Mara Sade doing her artwork, and then Hardys show up and Mara Sade tells them she was inspired by them at Emergence to do some artwork. Jeff Hardy tells Mara he has some artwork of his own he'd like to show her. Cedric Alexander meets Leon Slater backstage, and Alexander congratulates Slater for beating him fair and square at TNA Emergence. He tells Slater he got themselves a tag team match next week on TNA Impact. It's going to be Cedric Alexander and Leon Slater versus the Hardys. This announcement catches Slater off guard, but he promises to tear the house down. Santino Marella is on a call with his lawyer Steve to discuss Trick Williams' contract clause. Steve Macklin shows up and tells Marella he heard Mike Santana wants a partner for next week. Macklin tells Marella he's that guy, and Marella makes it official. It's going to be Mike Santana and Steve Macklin versus Trick Williams and AJ Francis next week on TNA Impact. TNA and NXT champion Jacy Jayne arrived and boasted about her dominance, calling herself the Moment while mocking the locker room for failing to reach her level. She declared no one could defeat her one-on-one and reminded fans that Santino Marella knows she's the true top star. The concierge interrupted, giving way to Ash by Elegance, who highlighted her past success in WWE and TNA. Ash insulted Jacy, branding her an attention whore, before targeting Masha Slamovich with harsh words. Masha then stormed out, promising to reclaim the TNA Knockouts World Championship at WWE Heatwave. The fiery confrontation concluded with all three women trading verbal shots, setting the stage for a potential explosive title clash. Tasha Steelz, Jason Hotch and John Schuyler are backstage mocking Mara Sade's painting. Sade shows up with the Hardys and she challenges Steelz to a match one-on-one for next week. Matt Hardy calls Steelz a bitch, prompting Order 4 to leave the room. We then get to see Mara Sade's painting, the Hardy Boys logo. Eric Young confronts Myron Reed and EY warns Reed of a change. He tells Reed he's always been the third man in the Rascals. He'll get benched as soon as Trey Miguel returns from injury. Zachary Wentz shows up, and Wentz asks Reed if everything's good. Reed tells him that EY just got himself a match next week on TNA Impact. In the main event of the show, we saw a match between the System and Matt Cardona vs Order 4, and the result of this match was Order 4 defeated the System by pinfall when the Great Hands hit Brian Myers with the favor finisher. After the match, Order 4 brutally attacked the System, with Ali ordering Moose to be finished off with a steel chair. JDC arrived, taking out members of Ali's Secret Service with a chair shot, a Van Daminator, and a dive to the outside. However, Agent Zero intervened, headbutting JDC and chokeslamming him onto a chair. The segment closed with Order 4 standing tall while Moose struggled against the Secret Service. How would you rate this week's TNA show? Tell me in the comments, and thanks for watching.